The sulfur balls, which you see here, it's yellow, it's pure sulfur. We find these in the shores of the Dead Sea, and it could be something which could be interpreted as something which could have destroyed a city or some people, because it's a ball of fire, like a brimstone, like you have in the Old Testament stories.
Look at these massive deposits of sulfur. I mean, it's amazing how much sulfur is down here on the southern side of the Dead Sea. Where do these sulfur balls that we see here come from, and how did they burn these cities? Well, the geologists that worked at Baba and Numera in the excavations, named Clapp and Donahue, their conclusion was that there was an earthquake that then brought and ignited and brought up the sulfur, kind of like popcorn, and caught it on fire, and that it came raining down. Also, the petroleum and bitumen that was also in the ground came up. That was their explanation for how these cities got burned through a natural disaster.
Yeah, the Bible is describing sulfur, and we have these bowls of sulfur here in Baba and the shores of the Dead Sea. So you could light these. These could be fireballs, they could be brimstones. So you have the archaeological destruction of a city like Baba and the episodes in Genesis of Sodom and Gomorrah, and you've got these balls here of fire.
This is what happens when you... I've already started on fire, I haven't even dropped it yet. It literally started the thing on fire, just dripping on it. Anyways, this is what happens when sulfur ball hits brush. This is why they're not preserved, is because they are burned up. So I have never dropped a burning sulfur ball into the Dead Sea until now. Wow, it floats. Well, that might be why they're all bunched up. Maybe they floated on the surface and then the wind drove them. See, you don't know what's going to happen unless you actually take a sulfur ball and burn it and throw it into the Dead Sea. But this is the result. This is why the sulfur balls are preserved when they hit the Dead Sea, because they were extinguished, and that's why we find them around the shores of the Dead Sea.